this goes on all the time. I sit and wait for this adjustment. What's the sound like for you? It's a different sound?
Nice.
We went up to Johannesburg and spent time in arguably the best studio of its time up there in Johannesburg. With I'll never forget they had this huge desk, mixing desk, which had flying faders in it, and you record a song and mix the different levels with the faders, and then hit a button, those faders would reset themselves and just be moving along the desk, which was state of the art at that time.
You can hear it in the mixing, the production, everything. That second album was world class in its production. So for me, it was way more exciting than the first album. The first album we were learning, and by the second album we pretty much knew our way around the studio.
At the time, we only had about 6 or 7 songs, so we didn't have enough. So we put the demos together, and then the next thing we were in the studio doing it. So it took a lot of rehearsals, but by the time we got there, we were geared up for the album itself. So in 2 weeks, the whole band recorded the basic tracks, and then I think Alistair came up and spent another 2 to 3 weeks after that doing all the mixing and doing the final touches on the vocals. But just that solid 2-week period of just long hours in the studio and in the evening was really awesome to do.
And the first album we recorded in a leafy suburb in Westville in the back of someone's home. Here we were in the heart of Sandton City, and it was a massive cavernous studio with lots of expensive equipment, wood paneling all over the place, beautiful carpets, and accomplished technicians and people with lots of experience. So obviously the pressure was on us to produce something amazing. But I think, we just decided, the 4 of us realized very quickly that we were out of our depth, but I think we decided that we were going to have fun, and we did.
The 2 different albums, right? The first album was really raw and raspy, and it lent itself to those songs for sure. And the second album, you can see the sound was more refined. It was bigger sound. We had a lot of different layering of different guitars that came in, session musicians, different lyrics that came in and did vocal work with Alistair, which was incredible.
Crystal blue reflects from the sky. She'll surface once more, now destined to die. Sweat and diesel hunting her down, placing baby at the lost and found. Have you seen?
My favorite song from that album is definitely a song called Crystal Blue that was co-written with a friend of mine in the Seychelles at the time. I was there with him. We were doing the fireworks for the change of government. We'd seen a documentary on TV about whaling and how they were battling to get the Japanese at the time to sign that sort of moratorium to say that we're going to stop whaling. And it was just a heartfelt a song about whales, about whaling and the woes of it.
I don't know, just play. Look at the fucking BBC standing over there, look at that. It's quite last night, mate. He's got a search on it. Okay.
favourite song of that album is a pretty easy one. It's Butterfly Angel, which I had dedicated to my father. I'd written the chords on it in my acoustic, and I spent many nights with Gavin co-writing it and finishing it up. I remember sitting at his living room with his keyboards and piano, actually I think it was, working on different parts of it and melodies and whatnot, and it's close to my heart to listen to the lyrics. They're pretty self-explanatory. I actually still play that song a lot in the US to this day, and I play it probably twice sometimes.
From a piano and a bass line initially, and then some vocals that came afterwards, and then the band adding their touch to it, and the way that Alistair sang it, and the way the whole thing was put together, and having Wendy Oldfield doing the backing vocals on it. It was really, I think, a great single and a great song, and still today, when I hear it, I still think, even if it were released now, it'll still be a hit song. It was.
I'll see you on a rainbow in the sky. I'll see you reach down and touch the sky. I'll see you on a rainbow in the sky. I'll see you, my beautiful butterfly.
My favourite track off the album would be track number 3. It's called Laugh.
I met a girl who likes to make me happy every day. Then I bought a ring and hopefully she'll never go away.
And I think that song just epitomised the Arapaho starting to find its own unique sound. Always loved the driving, punchy rhythm section, combined with the way Alistair sang the vocal. It was very smooth, very drawn out, almost an indie pop type sound, and the two worked really well together, and it was always a great song to play live.
Then I took the time to think about the senseless game we played.
And I'd always felt that had Arapaho gone forward and produced another album, I think that combination of those two genres would have certainly formed the basis of our sound going forward.
We had done an album before, we had been touring together, we'd been playing together. So as a band, I think that we were a lot more polished in what we were doing, and I think it actually shows on the album.
So it was better, without a doubt, for me.
That month together and just producing the art and having fun and I think being out of our depth made it extra special. It was amazing.
Stoked to have spent those precious times with my bandmates, putting something that I believe was special and meaningful together. And it will last a long time, at least in my mind, in my heart. So yeah, good times.
The show is over now, the stars will all fade.